Lord forgive me for this trap shit. Sergeant Smack making backflip. Telly Hank it with the action. With the Vato speaking Spanish. Frank Matthews how I vanish. Poof. Came back like I'm King Tut. Gold BBS is on a beamer. When Fat Cat was 10 queens up. Ball off the profit, not the re-up. Fly like Puerto Rican Jesus. Uptown like I'm Baby May. Just caught a touchdown from the Bay.
Say Windom tells the inmate, "Please tell me that ain't the mechanic right there behind me." A beeping sound is heard, as if a car door has opened, and 4 gunshots. Windom's then recorded saying, "He's the reason my wasn't running, bro." That Windom was trying to call Shraven, his mechanic, for 2 weeks to return car parts, but Shraven was ducking him.
Homicide caught on a recorded prison phone call, what was initially thought as random road rage targeting.
As Bill Miston explains, prosecutors say Lance Windom was the one who pulled the trigger, and it's not the only homicide charge Windom is facing.
On May 3rd, a phone call starts shortly before 9 a.m.
Thank you for calling Oshkosh Correctional Institution.
Prosecutors say it's between an inmate and this man, Lance Windom. At around the same time, Michael Shraven, a mechanic, follows a car onto 145 when a man gets out and starts shooting at Shraven. Shraven died.
I tried, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I was successful. But I tried.
At the time, it was believed to be a random road rage shooting.
And I heard it all. I heard it. I heard the gunshots. But it's like, what? What did they do?
A nurse who tried to save a life is left bewildered and emotional after a deadly shooting on a Milwaukee highway.
Yeah, that's right. A lot of questions still remain for this shooting. The neighborhood and witnesses shook to their core. But what we know is that at least 3 Good Samaritans tried their best to save the man's life.
That man to lose his life? Oh, God, it's just unbelievable.
A traumatic Wednesday morning for folks on the north side. Officials say a 41-year-old man was fatally shot on Highway 145 near Fond du Lac and Silver Spring by another driver. The passenger in the victim's car, a woman, was not hurt.
The call came in, I believe, at 9:02 a.m., which would mean the incident took place probably just a few minutes before that.
Officials say the motive is still unknown. Davis says he got out of his car when he saw the scene, helped pull the victim out of his car, and that's when he says the passenger claimed to be the victim's wife and said the shooting was a road rage incident.
She told me that it was road rage, somebody shot him and they kept going. That's the base of it.
She just said a car just randomly pulled over and started shooting. And I heard it all.
Officials say they cannot confirm what exactly transpired as of yet, but do implore the community to do better.
Now, court documents say it was targeted. Those documents say Windom tells the inmate, "Please tell me that ain't the mechanic right there behind me." A beeping sound is heard, as if a car door has opened, and 4 gunshots. Windom's then recorded saying, "He's the reason my wasn't running, bro." That Windom was trying to call Shraven, his mechanic, for 2 weeks to return car parts, but Shraven was ducking him, only to come across him on the highway ramp. "I boom, boom, boom," Windom said. He was arrested a month later.
Sandoval Johnson versus Lance Windom.
And appeared in court, not for the freeway homicide, but a different one, charged with killing 33-year-old Mario Redmond in a home near 46th and Locust last fall.
That is our big story tonight at 10. Milwaukee police making an arrest for a north side homicide from last November at 46th and Locust.
Sam Kramer is live at the courthouse, and Sam, the alleged triggerman, is behind bars, but police say they are not done investigating.
Well, that's right, Mary, because prosecutors have charged the defendant here with first-degree intentional homicide as party to a crime, meaning they believe he could have had help in actually committing that crime. And tonight, the victim's father tells me he sees this as a step in the right direction, though he says his family cannot rest until everyone involved is held accountable.
Almost 7 months after his son's passing, this necklace isn't just an accessory for Mario Redmond Sr.
I keep him with me every day.
Because it's the closest Mario Jr. can be to his heart.
My son was more than just a number in Milwaukee's homicide victims. He had a family that loved him.
On November 22nd, Milwaukee police say they found the 33-year-old shot dead inside a home near 46th and Locust. According to court records, a woman living there told police she argued with Redmond. Then two women came over to argue before someone fired a shot.
State of Wisconsin versus Lance Windom.
Police determined that someone was Lance Windom. The complaint filed Friday says police used surveillance cameras to find the real story. They say video shows Windom get out of an SUV in the alley and walk to the front door. When a gunshot is heard, they say Windom runs toward the SUV while carrying a gun.
I'm going to set bail consistent with what was requested by the state. I'm going to set $250,000 cash.
The complaint adds Windom tried selling the gun an hour after the shooting on social media, and that mapping data from his phone placed him at the homicide. As a father hopes it's just the start of justice.
There's some sense of relief to know that there's light at the end of the tunnel, but at the end of that tunnel, we still would be without my son.
Now, Windom is due to return here to court later this month for a preliminary hearing. Again, it's unclear if or when prosecutors will plan to charge anyone else in this crime. We did reach out. We have not yet heard back. We're live outside the Milwaukee County Courthouse. Sam Kramer, Fox 6 News.
All right, Sam, thank you.
Prosecutors charged Windom with gun charges earlier this month and later added the freeway homicide charge. Prosecutors say the van Windom was driving the morning Shraven was killed was found burning underneath the South 35th Street Bridge later that day. Court documents say a person sent this man, Antonio Carr, a screenshot of a Fox 6 News story of the freeway shooting. Carr sent the person his pinned location, right where the burned van was found. He's charged with aiding a felon and bail jumping. Both Carr and Windom remain in the Milwaukee County Jail. Bill Miston, Fox 6 News.
Fox 6 reached out to Windom's attorney for comment on these latest charges. We have not yet heard back.
Now, I've been doing this mob tie shit long enough to know that it don't matter if it's a quarter of heroin or a head gasket. Niggas is gonna spank you for playing with they shit. Milwaukee, what's the word? Shay's Popalot. I'm back in the town handling mob business. Now, I'm not sure if y'all are aware or not, but in this era that we're living in, I'm going to say that principle is at an all-time low. Now, when I say that, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that there are not people out here that still operate with a certain level of principle. But what I'm saying is, with the invention of the internet and the era that I would call the mass communication era, when anyone in the universe can pretty much get in contact with anyone else in the universe. And you can't exclude the invention of social media that gives people the ability to view the mindset or the mind frame of somebody on a day-to-day basis. And it is in my idea that this causes people to shift on certain principles that they might have had before a lot of this stuff came on. Now, this is discussions that I want to have with y'all. Y'all let me know, because y'all know I'll be confused, but I think I got the formula on this one. But with that being said, not everybody is willing to shift on their principles, and some people not one bit. And that brings across my desk the person that I want to talk to y'all about today, a 32-year-old Milwaukee man by the name of Lance Windom. Now, even though authorities allege that Lance Windom already had a homicide under his belt that he would have committed 6 months prior, but it would be a homicide that would occur in Milwaukee on Highway 145. In the months leading up to the summer, 6 months later, in May of 2022, which at first would be investigated as a road rage incident, but after an investigation by the authorities would just turn out to a situation to where Lance Windom just was not budging. Now, early on in the day of May the 3rd, 2022, a 40-year-old mechanic from Milwaukee by the name of Michael Shraven would be driving in a minivan with his wife on Highway 145 when a car would pull up beside them and opened shots on their vehicle, ultimately killing Michael Schraven. With no immediate suspects, the crime would go unsolved for about a year until the end of June 2023, when a 32-year-old man by the name of Lance Windom would be arrested for a homicide that would occur on November the 22nd, 2022, where a man was said to be standing on a porch in the middle of an argument with several females when a hooded male would emerge out the shadows, shooting onto the porch, killing a 33-year-old man by the name of Mario Redmond Jr. Now, Lance Windom, who seemed to be a person that operated on old school guidelines, who I seen was fighting the government as early as 1988 on a bank robbery case, would show exactly how willing he would stand down on principle on that day in early May of 2022. Now, when the details would come out, not only would it be mind-boggling, but it would be detrimental for Lance Windom, because according to the authorities, the entire ambush was caught on a jailhouse phone call that he had been on. Now, in evidence I'm sure the government plans to use against Lance Windom, it would state that he would be on a call with another individual that had been serving time. Now, I'm not quite sure if it slipped his mind, as anybody who has ever been on a call with someone incarcerated, every few minutes or so, they would relay a message that these calls are being recorded, or if it was just principle in itself. But Lance Windom had seen a mechanic that it appears who in the past 2 weeks he had gotten some auto repair services from. Now, on the recorded jail conversation, Lance Windom would be heard saying, "I know that's not the mechanic behind me." And during the course of that call, the murder would be documented and detailed, ending with Lance Windom saying something along the lines of, "I gave him a bang, bang, bang." Now, though I admire Lance Windom's principles, it's just a lot of things that you have to question with this situation. Of course, first being a recorded jail conversation, but me even the murder over the car parts, as it was a 2-week situation. He's saying the mechanic ducked him. So his principles was so stand down that he didn't care if my man had phone issues. He didn't care what. My man could have been coming from the hospital. He seen him in traffic and it was finito. Now, you know, when I'm dealing with y'all, I'm trying to get to the real answers. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say none of y'all are going to do this. But hey, we got the most gangster subscribers on YouTube. So I don't know about all y'all niggas. But what I do want to ask and can get to the bottom line with y'all is, how long do y'all give before somebody is ducking y'all? And I'm sure this might depend on the situation, but just give a general time frame. If you call in the person, you're not getting a call back. Almost a la this situation that's going on with Lil Boosie and Empire. Y'all giving somebody 2 weeks before it's gunplay on the expressway? Or what, y'all gonna sit on it for about a month, 3 months, 6 months? Or is it no sitting on that shit? Y'all make sure y'all hit the red subscribe and the bell right into this video so y'all know when this real trill spill shit is dropping. Get in the comment box, flood it. Let me know what's the protocol. How long is we sitting on this before it's action? Y'all get down there, let me know where I need to go to, what stories I missed, who I need to cover, what I got wrong. Tap in directly, Instagram, Twitter, POP_A_LOT. It's been real, Milwaukee. Till the next time, y'all know what it is. It's your ace Popalot. Salute the almighty mob.